right? Literally, whatever it is that you can do these little micro rewards on either per phone call, per text message, per day of hitting an objective, whatever it ends up being, those are going to be really powerful to you to help bridge that gap. The next thing is going to be setting up your calendar for success. So for productivity success. So I would love to brainstorm with you guys about any ideas you have. If you guys are taking notes, I'm just going to rapid fire. I am recording this, so I'll give it back to you. I'm just going to rapid fire best practices that I've found and then add on anything that you guys have.
Pretty excited about it.
So paid lead gen source, I assume it's an internet lead. They didn't like just call you off a postcard.
Correct. It's an internet lead.
Okay.
The way how they kind of gather their leads is by social media.
So what's your system? What's your process for your internet leads that you're generating? Where do they go? How do you handle
So what I do is once I get the leads, I do a phone call, call them up. And well, first if it's usually seller leads that I get, and I first Google their address, what property they're trying to sell, kind of get a little bit background on it. And then from there, I give them a call and start the conversation that way.
Okay.
If they don't pick up, I don't really leave a message. I just follow up again. I actually did one of your suggestions of don't leave where you're calling from. Like, I'm Daniel Castro, realtor from EXP. Just say, hey, this is Daniel. Give me a call back. And I actually got more response back from that saying versus my old verbiage I used to use. So it was kind of funny.
Nobody wants to call Dan Castro at EXP back, but everybody will return Daniel's call because they're very curious who the hell Daniel is, right?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, Daniel, crap, I don't even remember who Daniel is. I feel like a horrible friend. Like now, whatever. So that's solid. So just make sure that you have a long-term follow-up campaign built in, whether through KV Core or your own personalized one or a different CRM. Make sure there's points where there's items of value to be delivered.
Okay.
And then generally ask those in a way that you're going to solicit a response. So let's say it's been 3 weeks, right? So this new internet lead comes in and you call them and they don't answer and you don't leave a message. And then you call them the next day. So that's touch one. Then you send them a text and they don't respond. And then you call them again the next day and they don't answer and you say, hey, it's Daniel, call me back, right? So it's like 3 touches. You send them an email and they don't respond to that either, right? So we go through all these things. And then next week you follow up with them a couple times again and they don't respond, and maybe an item of value or something, an update here. I set up this custom search and put them on a drip or something, right? And then week 3 comes along and now you're like, okay, it's been a little while. How do I re-engage them? So a great thing to do is be like, hey, I have this incredible item of value. I have this list of off-market opportunities. I have this Orange County housing report. I have the 5 ways to get your offer accepted in this insane market. I have the 10 questions you must ask your agent before making a decision on who to let you, who to hire to represent you in this crazy seller's market as a buyer, right? Whatever that is, that item, create that item of value. And then don't just send it to them, right? You wouldn't just like email them the Orange County housing report or the top 5 things you have to do, right?
Yes.
Dangle it out there as a carrot and say, hey, do you want this? Give them a reason to respond to you, right? Give them a reason to engage with you. And then when they say yes, say, great, here it is, let's hop on a call or let's get in front of you. So ideally, right, so you can tell them, that's another thing, is you can direct them how to take action. So if you say, hey, do you want this? Text me back at this number and let me know that you want it and I'll get it to you.
Yes.
Right? If you want them to text you. If you want them to call you, say, hey, do you want the top 7 things, whatever, call me, here's my number, and I'll get it to you. I just want to ask you a quick question to make sure I send you the right thing. Or something like that, right? Like create a couple of barriers. And then that's your 3-week point. What do you do at a month? What do you do at 2 months? What do you do at 3 months, right? Because you have to assume that there's going to be, so I'm going to pause here and I'm going to transition it over to my friend Joe Turco so he can talk a little bit on this subject, because I know he loves the subject. I know he loves to talk, and I know he's got a great follow-up campaign already. So Joe, what does yours look like? I'll shut up now.
Wow. So my follow-up campaigns are like brutal with people, if I'm honest. I can even show you, I have a person that texted me last night and I met them in 2015. They sold a house in a neighboring state in 2018 and they're finally now ready. And they texted me last night after all of this follow-up and after having dead air for almost 3 years. And that's the thing, is it's about having a multi-layered kind of brick by brick approach. And what I mean by that is nobody reads emails anymore. Are they great? Sure, send them out, it's fine. But most people will not find it of value. Everybody reads texts 100%. If you can set up text templates in order to follow up with people, especially if they're automated, that is one of the best ways, especially if you're providing something of value. And then the other thing is using what are called Facebook custom audiences and running what are called retargeting ads to people, showing them opportunities. Go ahead.
What's a Facebook custom audience? I'm
Yep.
old.
So
I'm really old. I don't know anything. Please explain this to me.
Yep. So it's actually super easy. And it's one of the kind of underutilized things that Facebook allows you to do. It's where you take an Excel.
Wait, do you know how to pull it up? Can I, if I let you share your screen, can you do a screen share and show? Or is that too hard right now?
It's too hard right now, but it's super easy to explain. And I'm more than happy to one-on-one help people out.
Okay, cool.
But here is the gist of it. You take this ancient software called Excel. I know, crazy. We used to use spreadsheets, and a lot of things still do. And there's basically specific columns, and you can look it up, Facebook custom audience template. You can download it right from Facebook Business Manager. It's an Excel file. You fill it out with the information of your either leads or your clients. The most important 2 items on there being their cell phone number and their email, because that's what they generally will have registered with Facebook with. You then upload it into Facebook Business Manager. And what Facebook will do is what's called hashing. And that hashing means they take the information you're providing and they're going to hash it together with the information they have to locate those people so that you can specifically send advertising to them. Now, what's great about this is because you're not paying Facebook's algorithm to find people, you're already telling them who you want to send it to. It is exceptionally economical. You can have it shown consistently to people for $75 per month per 1,000 people.
Do you all catch that? $75 a month per 1,000, because you're telling Facebook who you want to go after. So, Joe, let's discuss what are some. So, first question I have is, what criteria does Facebook need on the spreadsheet in order to create this audience?
Yep. So the best thing is they're going to ask for a lot of different things. But if you have their first name, their last name, their phone number, and their email, those are kind of like the big block indicators that Facebook needs. Worst case.
So let's say I took the directory from the Little League. Can I upload the directory from the Little League or from my community HOA thing, or like any other type of trade organization or group that I might get? Can I just dump that in there?
You can, but you have to be careful about how your system is set up, because you have to adhere to CAN spam laws. So what it is you can do that with the Facebook custom audiences, but you cannot do it in such a way where they'll get texts or emails that they did not inquire after.
Correct. So I can't just market that to them in general, but I can create a custom audience that just kind of spins a video all the time. So I can create a couple pieces of content that are kind of evergreen, right? that are not, you know, oh, this weekend's open houses, but more like, hey, let's talk about Orange County real estate or projects or Airbnbs or something interesting, right?
So,
A new law.
yep. So one of the most successful things that I've done is I always link back to my IDX, and it's a very simple ad that says, "Hey friends, it's been a while since we talked. Thought you might be interested in looking at what the new and updated listings are. Here are the newest listings." And all you do is in your website create a link to anything that has come on the market within the last 3 days. It's super simple.
So then it's a static link forever. Does that make sense, guys? So you create one link that only ever pulls the properties that were listed in the last 3 days. Or you pull a static link that only shows you the new construction properties in your area or whatever it is, right? And then you say, hey, do you want to see all the new construction homes in Orange County? Do you want to see all the new construction in Boston? Do you want to see all the new listings? You can even do it when it's hot in the summer. Hey, do you want to see all the homes with a pool? You're looking, you know, you're hot, looking to cool off. Click here to see all the pool homes in Orange County or in Irvine or in Orange or in Boston or wherever.
Or you can even do a static link of all of the properties that have an open house over the next 3 days.
So now we're talking, right? We can upload our Little League directory in there and we can retarget them that way. We can take all of our old crappy internet leads and upload them in there and retarget them that way. We can take our database and we can upload them in there and do it that way. We can use like a smart capture database to pull all the emails and everything out of what we already have, right? So we can dump our phone, our email, all our crap into one thing that will sort it all out and turn it into a database, right? So that's how to do like a large scale data dump of like, say you've been in a different industry for 10 years. You have a bunch of emails in that old email box. You can extract all those. In fact, you can even extract off of Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever, right? Okay.
Yep.
And you can go, right? So here's another idea. Who here wants to farm and be an effective farmer? You can go farm you can go door knock, door to door and say, hey, I created a Facebook group for the neighborhood. This is what it's called. Do you want to join it? By the way, I have some really cool stuff I'd like to send you. What's your phone number? What's your email, et cetera. And you can, or you go buy that data, right, from someone and buy the local geographic data for your geographic farm and retarget to them that way as well. Joe, how would you add to that?
So what I'm going to add too is everybody aware of that when you're running advertising towards real estate, how with the new, for example, Facebook advertising guidelines, you can only do a 15-mile radius?
Yes.
Yes, nods, anybody?
Yeah, so they want to protect fair housing. So if you do a geographic ad, you have to do it in a large 15-mile radius. But I bet you Joe has a workaround on how you can be more geo-targeted. How is that, Joe?
So here's the thing. When you're uploading a custom audience, it's just people that you tell it. So if you know everybody's in one zip code and you want to do ad copy that is only about that one zip code and have it be relevant to all those people, you can do that, and you're circumventing that area because you're uploading the custom client list and those people are all within that. So what we do is we segment out based on the type of ad that we want to do. You want to go next level, you go record a video in front of either a community, a condo building, or an area that is recognizable, because everybody, when they see their home or their home area or the entrance that they go through every day, they will stop scrolling. They will watch that video. They will see that ad. Now, how this kind of circles fully back to the lead generation and follow-up systems for internet leads is the fact that you are constantly taking all of your inquiries and you're putting them into this. So they're seeing you now on all of these different platforms, and you are now becoming the person that is the quote unquote influencer of that area. You are the local community expert. And it's also where, from a time efficiency standpoint, when you start scaling, when you start having a 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 internet lead database, which anyone on my team knows that I have, there's no way I had the time in the day, even if I wanted to call everybody just once a year, to do that. this is where that comes into play in staying top of mind and seeing who the hand raisers are.
Cool.
So you combine that with a texting campaign, with a call campaign. And what happens is you are building a brick wall, brick by brick, where they cannot escape you.
Yeah. And that's how you scale up to a large database, because Dan, right, however many leads you're getting per month, it's a compounding thing, right? It's 30,
Yes.
it's 30 leads the first month, no big deal. Everybody can manage 30 leads, but how many leads is it the second month? Well, now it's 60 and it's 90, right? After a year, it's 500. If you're good at it, it grows faster and it snowballs, and then it turns into 1,000 and 10,000, 20,000. So you have to really begin with the end in mind, and you have to be creative about not only your campaigns for retargeting and re-engagement and all that stuff, but also those value add pieces and how you can grow and scale over time as this becomes bigger, because eventually you have to start servicing the business too. So then you have to have time to, do searches and get in the car and write offers and all the other things that come with real estate. And so that's where building out a team, when you're talking about that type of volume, becomes really critical, because if you don't have one, it's very difficult to manage any type of large database and actually go get the transactional work done as well. So is that helpful, Dan?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Everybody else, do you guys get something out of that? I know that was kind of a random tangent that we went down, but I think it was valuable and helpful, so that's good. What else? What other topics do you guys want to make sure we cover today, or questions that you have? What challenges are you facing? How can we make sure we help you guys? We're done? That was quick. Thanks, Joe. Way to get everybody to tune out. They're all muted. We're muted. They turn the volume off. They're like playing like Command and Conquer or Fortnite, or I don't know what people play these days. But
Wait, they don't play Minesweeper anymore?
oh, dude, I still play Minesweeper. I don't know.
I do. I love that.
I still don't
Minesweeper's
even
the
know.
best.
I still don't know the rules. I don't know. It's been
Quick,
30 years.
and then you win.
Yeah, whatever. All right. So if you guys aren't going to ask any questions, feel free. If you have questions and you're too shy to unmute yourself and talk, feel free to pop your questions in the chat. I would love to specifically address things that are interesting or relevant to you guys.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Nicole.
So I actually am in Facebook jail because there was something missing from my page, and apparently a bunch of realtors got into this over the past few weeks. So I can't run ads right now. Any recommendations for like help with anyone who like really knows the nuts and bolts of kind of navigating the setup of the Facebook ads? Like, where do you start? Because I know it sounds very simple, and it is, but there's a lot of moving parts with like Facebook Business, Ads Manager, etc. I find it overwhelming personally. I feel like I need help with it. So any best practices, tips, resources to like really get your Facebook ads like pristine?
Reach out to Joe.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing, and this is just a general guideline, never have it where just your own account or your main personal account on Facebook is the only admin on your business page or onto your ads manager account. Technically, you're not supposed to, but make a fake account and then add them as an admin, especially if it's one that you just never use. That way you never lose access.
Okay. So I have access. I just like can't run a new ad. Like I can't do anything right now. So it's in review.
I know a couple of other people too, Nicole. So talk to Joe and see how that goes. And then if not, let me know and I'll make a couple introductions.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. What else? So who here was on the Monday call with Dan and Kyle? Raise your hand. A couple of people. All right, perfect. Who here does not know about the Monday call with Dan and Kyle? Handful of people. So if you're not yet with our group at EXP, you can go. So PM me if you're not signed up at EXP and you want to check out the Monday call. Shoot me a text or let me know you want to come. I put my phone number in the text right now, in the chat box. Feel free to text me if you're not with our group, or if you are, whatever, and you guys should be on that call. You should check it out as a guest. It's really cool. Dan Beer and Kyle Whistle, they're like the #1 and #2 agents in San Diego. They're 2 of the top agents at EXP. They each did about 6 to 7 million in commissions last year, in commissions. So they sold about 400 houses in San Diego. And this year they're probably going to sell 500 or 600. So these are the top guys. And just like I do every week on this call, they do a call just like this on Mondays, where they give an hour of their time to answer any questions that anybody in the group has, to go through any scenarios. You say, hey, I have $1,000 a month. How would you spend it? Literally anything you want to ask. Like, how do I farm? I mean, Dan Beer farms like 16,000 homes, sends out like 30,000 pieces of mail a month, has billboards on every street corner in San Diego. Kyle Whistle's one of the top influencers on YouTube. So, these are really, really smart guys with big teams. So if you're not going to that, you really should. The next thing I want to show you guys really quick is, hold on. I'm going to show you if I can get into it.
Oh my God, so many tabs.
Does that give you anxiety?
A lot.
Sorry. That's a small amount, actually. Notice
So
that
I'm with you. Keep the tabs clean. Keep it clean. 0, 0.
only 50%.
Exactly.
Look, if you're looking, only 50% of my tabs are for vacation. Okay.
Only.
Everything from here over is all just my Hawaii vacation plans. So don't worry about that. So in Fast Forward, so if you're with our group, you should be in Fast Forward. If you're not in the Fast Forward movement group and you're not in the Honey Badger group, please message me, text me, call me, do something, and I will add you in there. It's very, very important that you're in the Honey Badger group and the Fast Forward movement group. In either group on Wednesdays, they stream the Expert Mentors Live series. So today, if I scroll down, the Expert Mentors Live series ran. It's here. So it always looks like this. So John Kitchens is one of the coaches. He does a quote, then he talks about the guest, which this week was Wally. Talks about what he does, why he's amazing. He left to become a real estate agent. He sold 72 houses in his first 14 months. Who here on the call thinks they might learn something from someone who sold 72 houses in their first 14 months? Anyone? Raise your hand. Yeah, Kirsten, you and me, just us. Everybody else is allergic. Nope. Joe, perfect. Dan, yeah. So this guy's the real deal, right? So John Kitchens does not interview anyone who is not a superstar. How do I know this? Because he has not interviewed me or Joe yet. If he had, we would know that he broke his rules and he doesn't interview only superstars. But so far, it's just superstars. So you can come in here and you can watch this. It's 46 minutes of a deep dive from this guy. But more importantly, this is Expert Mentors Live, episode 139. There's 139 episodes here. Click on this. This is the link that I just, sorry, let me get back to my vacation tabs. The link that I just clicked on was emlreplay.com, I believe. So you look right here, emlreplay.com. It took me to this tab. This tab is the YouTube channel playlist for Expert Mentors Live. It's under John Kitchens. Look at this. Turn one listing into 5 sales. How to grow with video with Kyle Whistle. Real estate workshop with Dan Beer. Every single one of these people is beyond successful. So if you're not going in here at least once a week to watch one of these, so if you watched one once a week, when would you get caught up? Anyone?
2 years.
Children.
No, it's a trick question. If you watched one once a week, you would never get caught up because there is one once a week. So if you watch 2 a week, you'd get caught up in 3 years. Let's not do that. Let's watch 3 a week. Let's watch 4 a week. What? Time out. This is an important question. We ask every single person this question, so I want some real answers here. If you have an answer, unmute yourself. What are you watching on Netflix right now? What are you binge watching? What are you addicted to? Somebody give me a new show to watch. Nothing? That's sad. Somebody has an answer. Who has seen I Care a Lot? It's good, right?
Oh yeah, that
That
one's
was,
good.
that was a binger. Who has seen What Happened to Monday? Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen that movie, watch that movie tonight. That movie's incredible. Okay. And then after you're done watching that, and since you guys all suck today and nobody wants to talk, and I literally hate you all, we'll just go ahead and say, look, stop watching the crap you're watching and watch 4 of these episodes a week, right? Put it on your calendar. If you don't put it on your calendar, you're not going to do it. They're all anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour. Do you all know how to get to them? emlreplay.com, right? Expert Mentors Live replay.com. Go in there and watch them all. They're incredible. I guarantee you will get something. And then what I want you to do is while you're watching them, I want you to take notes, because whatever you take notes on, you'll remember. When you're done with it, I want you to circle the action items that you're actually going to implement. And then at the very end, I want you to pick one thing and I want you to implement it within 3 days of watching it. Because if you watch it and you circle your action items and then you implement one thing out of it, you will do more than 99% of people. Because what most people will do is they'll watch it and they won't do any notes and they won't do any implementation, and it'll just be a good idea and it won't really help anybody with anything. Does that make sense? Okay. So we have our Monday masterminds with Dan and Kyle. We have Wednesdays Expert Mentors Live, plus the entire library of that, which is fantastic, right? Joe, what other places might we be able to find some amazing trainings throughout the week other than this Wednesday call we do?
In terms of like live trainings, I would say EXP World has always got a ton of great ones going on consistently. I would say the other thing is, if you want great trainings and you're not seeing it, reach out to people. We're in real estate. Don't be shy. If you want to learn something that somebody's doing, talk to them. I mean, obviously, like, my team gets the benefit of talking to me all the time. We say benefit in air quotes. But that's the big thing, is like, you have this huge network of people that are invested in your development and in going to help you. Plus you also have workspace. You have, me as a resource. So you have John as a resource. You have Dan, you have Kyle, you have, Chuck Fazio. Like, you have so many people all over the place. Like, it should be where if at any time you're like, oh my God, I need to learn something and I can't find something, just talk to us, or, meet somebody new. I just did a podcast with Brett Swartz today, and it's one of those things where, like, there's so much opportunity out there. You just have to, if it's not hitting you over the head, honestly, just look for a little bit. I mean, it's not hard. Like, but the biggest thing too is diversify what you're looking at. Don't always look at the same types of things. Like, if you want to talk about things like Spotify ads or Hulu ads or radio advertising or podcast advertising, or, how to run a mission-based business, how to do any number of different things, look at something that is not what the realtor herd is looking at. Like, I'll give you a great example. At a certain brokerage that I won't name, they've made an easy button with quote unquote Facebook ads. And now the effectiveness of Facebook ads has deteriorated because consumers are smart to it. So look at what are the things a little left or right of center that you can do that are new, interesting, or diverse. And then the other thing is take a page out of what these people are doing. So you notice there's a lot of trainings on YouTube. What is YouTube? It's evergreen content. It's working for them, even though they've already invested the time in it. Why not apply that to your business? How can you make things, or get trained on how to make things, or ideas on what to make that will be something that works for you even while you're not doing it? We always talk about passive income. What about passive lead generation?
Yeah, passive lead generation is big. And a lot of that stuff, that's the difference between like now business and long-term business. And you should really set up your business in both ways so that you have active business coming in today so that you can eat. And then you're building something that's more long-term. So if I want to do some evergreen community videos on YouTube, what are the chances that those start, generating me business right away? Probably pretty slim, unless I really understand YouTube and I know what people are searching for, and I create content that is directly tied to what they're searching for. And then I create a call to action that's powerful, that gets them to pick up the phone and actually call me because they're thinking of relocating to Orange County, right? But if I really wanted to get a listing today, I'd probably be a lot better off going and dropping by 10 for sale by owners houses than I would creating an evergreen community video, right? Like if I had to invest my time today to get a listing, which is going to be more productive, right? Probably going to the for sale by owners, not creating the evergreen content. But if I just go to the for sale by owners, I'll never have this content that's going to continue to produce leads while I sleep. So you really have to do both, right? And that comes down to time blocking. One of the biggest problems that we find with EXP is that there's too much information. I don't know if any of you have seen that, but there's quite a bit of content and there's a lot of things you could do. So you need to pick the things that you should do, right? That are in alignment with what your goals are. So like I said, Mondays with Dan and Kyle, I personally feel that's like a non-negotiable. These Wednesday chats are amazing if you guys need any one-on-one help or want to dig into these topics like we've been talking about today. The Expert Mentors Live is like a phenomenal thing to just kind of have in the background to be listening to or watching, or some kind of an extra supplement every week. And then you should be going to this eXp Realty announcements page on Workplace, because this is where they put the best stuff. So, hey, eXp just exceeded 50,000 agents and some details there, right? That's awesome. Guess what? 90 breakout sessions at the eXp Shareholder Summit. So that's going to be in 60 days. There's going to be tracks. So do you want to go for eXp Realty? Are you here for the big agent breakouts, eXp Global, blah, blah. So start to plan that, right? Is that in your calendar? Did you take time off on May 18th and 19th to make sure that you attend this, right? That's going to be an amazing event. Breaking news, eXp Holdings Inc. deal with Grant Cardone. So who here on the call knows who Grant Cardone is? Anybody? Me? A few people? So Grant Cardone is one of the top selling authors / trainers. He does 10X. He did 10X Growth Conference. Well, he just did a licensing deal with eXp. So his wife just joined eXp, but he did a licensing deal with eXp. So now you can 10X your business with Grant Cardone. It's a workplace group. They're going to start giving his content away to all of us for free. I mean, that's awesome. Like, no company is doing anything like this. What's the problem? The problem is it's hard to keep up sometimes. This company moves so fast that, like, I didn't know about this, right? Like, I mean, I did. I looked at it like an hour ago, but still, like, I didn't know this was even going to happen a week ago. So that's pretty amazing. They do net promoter scores for everything at eXp. So that net promoter score is a really important concept for you to understand to get real life feedback on how you're doing. So that would be like an NPS, net promoter score, would be like if you surveyed your clients right after closing and were like, how did I do? And you sent them a Google form and there were like 10 questions. You guys may not realize this, but if you just tell all your clients to review you, even though you think you did a great job, 1 out of 20 will write you a shitty review. And you'll be dumbfounded. You'll be like, I thought we were friends. What do you mean? I sent you the link. Like, I can't believe I asked you for the review and then you gave me a shitty review. But that will actually happen. So it's a really good idea to survey your customers first, make sure they're at a 10 out of 10 experience, and then ask them to give you a review. And if you do it in that order, you're going to get a lot better reviews, and it'll give you a chance, right? It's not that you don't want a review from that person who was dissatisfied. It gives you a chance to correct the problem before the review gets written. That's really critical. If we keep going, right, we're going to see a lot more stuff. So we just opened up in Hong Kong. These are the rankings. So we had an amazing last couple quarters. But if you keep going, right, not only do they talk about all the stuff going on with eXp and eXp Global and everything else, but in here they also put in trainings that you should go to, right? So there's always, the best stuff is always in this eXp Realty announcements thread. The next best one to go to is EXP University, right? So you're all members of the EXP University group. When was the last time you guys went to it? Probably never, right? So if you go in here, you can see this is the Icon Series catalog. The Icon Series is for everybody, right? First time classes for the Icon Series. This is my friend Joe Oz. He's going to be teaching a class on Friday, April 2nd. You should go to this. The icons, who knows what an icon is at EXP? All right, Paolo, what is it?
So it's when you reach certain GCI, usually 250, right? Or 500,000?
500,000 or 20
500,000.
transactions past your cap.
Yep. And then that's how you become an icon agent.
Yeah, so it's an award. It's a top producer award. It is about, I'd say about 1,000 agents at the company have achieved that status. So it's the top 2% of agents in the company. And they are required to give back and teach and coach and train and mentor and all these other things as part of that accolade. And they're incentivized to do it. They're given stock to do it. And so do you guys think you should be listening to, me and Joe? I mean, no offense, me and Joe are great, but do you want to listen to me and Joe or Nicole or Paula, who have all had successful careers? Or do you want to go listen to the icons? Right? Do you want to listen to the people that are really hitting it out of the park, the people that are really making the money, the people that are really been there and gone through all the struggles, right? Those are the people I want to listen to. So if I had to pick one series to go to that was EXP sponsored, right? This training is not an EXP training. The Mondays with Dan and Kyle are not technically an EXP training. The Wednesdays with John Kitchens, the Expert Mentors Live, that's not technically an EXP training, right? So if I were going to go to an EXP branded class, that would be the thing I would go to every week, is the iConversations and anything put on by the icons. So that was my 10-minute detour or 15-minute detour into all of the kind of weekly trainings and things that you should be hitting up and going through. Does anyone have any questions on where to find those things or what those are? No? Okay.
Can I get a guest pass for the Monday
Yeah.
meeting?
Yeah. I put my phone in the chat. Will you just send me a text and I'll get it to you?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Anybody else? What other questions do you guys have, or what do you want to talk about? What burning desires can we go over for you? We have about 15 minutes left. Yep, Joe, take it, man. If nobody else wants the time, you take it.
Yeah. So why don't we talk a little bit about like motivation? Because like I know that everybody that I've ever encountered in real estate, whether it's Dan, Kyle, John, myself, day one agent, sometimes we struggle with motivation, especially to do the things that are kind of the time on task, where it's like, oh my God, I have to do this every single day. I do this every single day. This is boring. I don't want to do this because I do it so much. Maybe we can talk a little bit about how to stay motivated and how to stay in the proper mindset to keep things efficient and effective. Because I know that when you're not motivated, you tend to slow down. You tend to do a little less outreach, a little less work, a little less effectively or efficiently, and you're spending more time doing less. So maybe we can talk about.
Yeah, it's very, very, very hard to stay in that mind space when you're not being triggered with the reward mechanisms in your brain, right? So why does everybody like social media? Who's seen the creepy social media documentary? Who watched it? Yeah. Okay. Somebody tell me, what did it say? Why are we addicted to social media?
Instant feedback.
Kirsten, Paula, someone? Okay, Kirsten.
It releases serotonin. Basically, it has the same effect as taking drugs almost. It's like a quick rush, but you kind of feel like you're missing out on something unless you get another. You just scroll. It's an endless, like a slot machine.
Yeah, it's a cheap drug, right? Yeah. Facebook is a cheap drug. So, right, but that's the reinforcement. social media have realized that if they give you a ding and a whistle and a bell and a whatever, right, Pavlov, they can condition you to come back more and more and more for that behavior. So is that a negative or a positive? I don't know, right? It depends on how you feel about Facebook. But the reality is you can take that same methodology and you can use it to hack your business. So when you're not getting the reward, right, what's the gap? What's the problem, right? When you train a dog. So if I want to train a dog, when they say one of the best ways to train a dog, right? Nicole could probably attest to this better than I could. She's a dog person in the group. You get a clicker, right? And you, every time the dog does the thing you want him to do, you click the button. Why do you get the clicker, right? Why not just give them the treat? Because the clicker is the bridge between the action and the reward. So they do the action, they hear the click, then they get the treat. They do the action, they hear the click, then they get the treat. You need to create the clicker for your own life. You need to create the clicker for your own business. What is the positive reward that you're sending to your brain when you do the activity? Because the result is the paycheck. The result is the client. The result is the appointment. The result is the meeting. The result is the closing. The result is whatever. What kind of sales cycle are we on in real estate business? Paula? Timeline.
Timelines.
Yeah, 60 days, 90 days. Like how long does it take you from like action to closing to paycheck? Right?
Months, yeah.
Yeah, long time. So what do most people do? Most people get going and they put in the work and they don't get that rush, that reward system in the brain. And so they quit before they ever succeed because they can't link the activity to the outcome. You have to work on that, right? So number one, I would say the most important thing is to somehow reward yourself for the daily activities. So when I make these 5 calls, I'm going to go get an ice cream. Every time I set an appointment, I'm going to ring a bell, right? Literally whatever it is that you can do these little micro rewards on either per phone call, per text message, per day of hitting an objective, whatever it ends up being, those are going to be really powerful to you to help bridge that gap. The next thing is going to be setting up your calendar for success. So for productivity success. So I would love to brainstorm with you guys about any ideas you have. If you guys are taking notes, I'm just going to rapid fire. I am recording this, so I'll give it back to you. I'm just going to rapid fire best practices that I've found and then add on anything that you guys have. Waking up early. People who wake up earlier tend to be more successful. I know some people are like, I'm a night owl, whatever, and that's fine. If you are a night owl and you can power through and do a bunch of work at night, that's great. But in general, 90% of people need to wake up early in order to be more successful. Number 2, working out. If you start your day with a workout, you're going to release a lot of those similar, not same, similar hormones. You're going to give yourself a boost of positivity, get your endorphins going, and that's going to be really positive. Eating well, right? Your body is your vehicle. If you don't feel good, if you feel like trash, you're going to perform like trash, right? No athlete goes out and gets wasted before the game, except Michael Jordan. You have to be superhuman to be able to put your body under that level of stress and then still perform at a high level. So if you're not eating breakfast, if you're not eating right, if you're drinking too much, if you're doing too many drugs, like whatever you're doing, if those things aren't in alignment with your goals, you'll never get to your goals. And you'll look, and I say this because I'm being real with you guys, but like a lot of successful people, they'll be successful and then they'll be like, oh, I have money and I'm going to party, and real estate's a very like social business. So they'll be like, cool, I'm going to go to happy hours and this and that. Next thing you know, you've got a guy making $250,000 a year, partying 5 nights a week, doing way too much cocaine, drinking, all this other stuff. And what happens, right? We see it over and over again. They get successful and then it's a crash and burn because it's not sustainable, right? Other things you can do, read. So what books are you reading? Are you reading books? Are you reading motivational books? What are you watching on TV? Do you go home and turn on the news and watch depressing shit on the news about how bad the world is, or watch politics or any of that nonsense? Or are you watching the financial networks? Yeah. Are you reading Rocket Fuel? Are you listening to an audiobook when you're driving around? 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I love it. So are you nourishing your body, your brain with positivity? Are you watching a motivational video on YouTube? If you just go on YouTube and watch one motivational video every morning before you get started, you have a 1000% better chance of having a good day and having things go positively, because you're tricking yourself in to getting into a positive mindset, even if you aren't. There's a really cool one that this guy in the Navy did about making your bed in the morning. There's 212 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a really cool motivational video. And there's about 1 million others. So there's no shortage of things that you can be consuming. Another really good one is a gratitude journal. Who here uses a gratitude journal consistently?
Right.
Gratitude journal is the single most powerful thing you can do in your entire life. Not your business, your entire life. So every morning, if you want to be successful, if you want to live the best life you possibly can, and you only want to do one thing to make that change, make this change. Every morning, get a blank piece of paper out. And every morning, put the date, start with, I am so happy and grateful now that, and start writing it out as if it's present tense. So anything you want in the future, write it out like you already have it. And then go on to talk about all the other things that you're grateful for from the past. See you, Joe. It's really important that you stay in a state of gratitude. Gratitude is considered to be one of the highest frequency vibrations. And when you live in a state of abundance and a state of gratitude, you act like a magnetic, right? You vibrate in a magnetic energy that attracts other things like that. Has anybody ever stubbed their toe in the morning and then gone on to have a shitty day the rest of the day? Because I have, right? Or gotten like a fender bender, locked their keys in the car, like, you know, spilled coffee on their shirt, like whatever the case may be, right? Has anybody had that? Because I have. A lot of times that's just a repetitive pattern, right? So we stub our toe and then we're like, oh crap. And then we become an energy magnet for negativity. And it just bleeds into the entire day and it goes on and on and on. So those are a lot of my little quick hacks. What other ones do you guys have? What do you guys like to do that keep you positive, upbeat, continue to plug away? Because I'll be honest, this is a really hard business, especially to kind of get the ball rolling. So what have you guys found success with?
Actually, I just did this weekend. I was having a rough weekend. I couldn't get motivated. I was like so overwhelmed by everything I had to do. And I finally was just like, you know what? Put the to-do list away. Just start doing shit. And I started marking down everything I was doing as opposed to focusing on what I needed to do. So I like created a did it list as opposed to a to-do list. And that helped me get more done that day.
I love that. A did it list. Yeah, celebrate your wins. So how long, the last time you guys screwed something up, everybody here screwed something up, right? Forgot to do something, like just screwed up somehow. The last time you screwed something up, how long did you obsess over it? Like 2 minutes or like 2 days?
How bad was the screw up?
Well, who cares? Like I'll drop a jar of mayonnaise and stress out about it for 2 days, like I'm the worst person in the world, right? So we tend to focus and obsess over our failures and we gloss over our wins, right? Do you have a list of wins? Do you have a journal of daily wins? Hey, I caught 17 green lights on the way to work today. That was awesome, right? Like whatever it is, start to celebrate those victories. Like Dan, I loved how we started the call with Dan being like, I got a new lead. That's nothing. Like, it's nothing. It's not big. It's not monumental. He's not getting paid. Nothing special happened, but he's excited about it, right? It goes in the win journal. He got a new lead today. That's awesome, man. That's better than a lot of people did. What else have you guys found that's awesome to kind of manage your productivity or your positivity, your mindset?
For me, it's actually been really important not to look too much at what other agents are doing. It's very easy to look at someone who's been in the game 5-10 years and know that you're capable and think like, okay, well, why don't I have 5 escrows? So comparison and activity kind of not, I won't say tuning it out, but also just reminding yourself that you're on your own path and you just have to do you.
They say don't compare your outsides to other people's insides. And did you guys see, you guys know who Lionel Messi is? One of the best players in the world. He just quoted this week, he said, you know, I work, I'm the first person in, I'm the last person out. This is a Tom Brady thing too, right? I'm the first person in, I'm the last person out. I worked my ass off for 15 years to become an overnight success. And that's the truth, right? Because nobody ever looks at somebody who's successful and is like, oh gosh, look at all the work they put in to get there. Everybody looks at Dan Beer and Kyle Whistle and they're like, damn, those guys joined EXP and they're making $1 million a year in rev share. Da, da, da. It's so easy, right? Everybody looks at it at the success and they're like, I want that. But did you want to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning? Did you, Dan Beer spends he spends $5 million a year reinvesting in his business to take home $1 million profit. If you made 6 million, would you have the nerve to put 5 million back in the business? You might not, right? But you want to have what Dan has, but you're not willing to do the work to get where Dan is, right? So that's really, really important. Who else? Yeah.
I'm learning that you just get yourself into some of these bad habits and try to make it a better habit. So for example, I used to say, gee, I do so much driving, how will I have the time to do this training? And I'm going to think of it the same way I did when I was studying for my real estate exam. I would listen to YouTube while I was driving. So I would listen to Prep Asian, for example, and I was able to comprehend and really digest a lot of that material while I was driving. So I could probably do the same with some of these training sessions, where I mean, I bet at least 50% of the stuff.
100%.
Driving, 100%.
You can listen to EXP World on your phone. You can listen to Zoom on your phone. There's no reason that you can't do most of that stuff. Now, you're not as present. You can't take the same level of notes. You can't see the visuals. But if it's the difference between not doing it at all and doing it part way, I would say do it part way. Mm-hmm. And if it's, not only can you do the trainings in the car, you can do podcasts in the car. You can do phone calls. So a lot of times what I would do is I would make a call list of the people that I needed to reach out to that day. So if I'm trying to make 20 contacts a day and have real estate conversations, if I can make 5 on my way to the office and 5 on my way home, then I only need to make 10. Half my work is done. And I love to do calls in the car. Like that's a great time for me to connect with people and just bang through, 3 or 4 or 5 calls on my drive. What else do you guys find success with in terms of staying positive and having a great mindset? How about who you surround yourself with? You think that matters? So do you guys, usually what I find is it's not as much about the people I need to seek out. A lot of times it is, right? I need to go find another friend to add in, somebody who's farther ahead that is where I want to be. And so I need to go associate with somebody who's done it before so that I can be more like them. But a lot of times it's about eliminating someone. So I want everybody on this call to think of the one person who doesn't add any value to your life, who sucks up your time, who brings down your energy, right? Who's that one person that probably shouldn't be in your circle, that you let in your circle?
Does a dog count?
Nope. But we all have them, right? And so if that person came to mind, if you're thinking of who that is, I don't care if they're your best friends in 2nd grade, you might need to put them out of your life. When I got really, really serious about my goals a couple years ago, the number one thing I realized is I had too many people in my circle that weren't where I wanted to be. And you are the average of the 5 people you hang around. And so if I have 5 and 2 of them are shitheads, how bad is that dragging down my average? Bad. And so I had to fire some of my best friends. Like, hey, we're still homies, like whatever, but we don't hang out. And we don't really talk that much. And like, yeah, if they text me or whatever, like, yeah, it's, we'll always be cool, but I don't have space in my life for that right now because I am laser focused on my goals. And I will tell you that that is a transformative thing you can do in all of your relationships, is to keep your inner circle full of only people that are doing or where you want to be in the future, right? Doing what you're doing now or where you want to go. And they should be cheering you on. Do you guys have like somebody in your life who no matter what you do that you're proud of, they shit on it? Like, can you think of that person? Like every time you get excited about something, they're like, well, that won't work. Or, oh gosh, you're getting into real estate now in this market? I don't know, man, that's not gonna work. Oh, you wanna go start selling new construction? No, you could never sell new construction. Luxury? Oh, Paula, you're not a luxury girl. You're more of the IE. Stick to what you know. Don't go work that luxury market, right? With those people, like fuck them. Like literally kick them out of your life tomorrow. Don't even wait till tomorrow. Text them right now. Like I just got off a call and I was told that I have to fire you from my life because you're a shithead and you don't support my goals. Like you need to surround yourself with people who are passionate about helping you achieve your goals. And if you don't, you're not going to get there. All right, give me one more. What's one more amazing trick or tip that people can do to stay positive? Keep a good mindset, focus on their goals.
I would say work on your affirmations. That's a huge one for me. I have literally
one of your favorite affirmations. By the way, the wall behind you is incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, they're affirmations. I have them everywhere, but my favorite one is I'm unstoppable. You know, I'm limitless, you know, because I really am. So I have to channel that energy, and that's where I just like, it fuels my fire. You know what I mean? And then I think about my why. So that's another reason why I'm just like, this is why I'm doing this, you know?
Have a powerful why and understand that affirmations, thoughts become things. What you think, right, becomes a thing. And so if you think I'm not good enough, I'm not going to make it, they don't want to hear from me, they're not home, I'm bugging them, right? All these limiting beliefs, all this crap we say to ourselves, right? If you talk to other people the way you talk to yourself, you think you'd have any friends?
No.
Probably not, right? We're usually pretty hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
So, you know, replace that dialogue. Get that old negative dialogue out of your head and start. I mean, if you don't know how, literally just download affirmations and print them out and put them all over your house, put them on your mirror, write them in lipstick on your mirror in the morning, like, so you see them right in front of you, whatever you want to do, right? But just start simple. If you have kids, get the kids' affirmations from YouTube or whatever, and get your kids to start practicing affirmations. I'm going to leave you with this on affirmations, and I'm going to ask for a couple ahas, and we'll go. Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Bill Gates, anybody who has ever achieved anything incredible in life, the best of the best, George Washington, pick Abraham Lincoln, JFK, anyone, right? Alexander the Great, every great, amazing person in history, the best of the best, are all just normal people like every single person on this call. Abraham Lincoln was no different than anybody on this call. He just made more of his life than anybody else did. And so for all of those other people, they are not special. They're not unique. They're not gods. They did not have, right? Like Michael Jordan didn't even make the high school basketball team. So it's not about Michael Jordan being the best naturally gifted athlete ever to play basketball when he was born. He worked his ass off for it. Everybody has the same potential. Everybody, like you said, is unstoppable. Every single person, every human is limitless. You just have to tap into that and really believe it. You are no different than those great people. You have that within you. You just have to go get it. All right, what are your ahas? What did you guys learn today?
That was great. That was like a therapy session. That was nice.
Next. That's the best compliment I've had in a long time.
I feel great now. Thanks.
What other ahas you guys get?
You have to get on the Monday call.
Get on the Monday call. That's a great takeaway. Get on the Monday call. What else?
You don't take care of yourself, you're never gonna succeed in what you want to do.
Yeah, nobody ran a 4-minute mile eating Cheetos.
Mentor someone who's ahead of you that made it.
Yeah. Go find people who have done what you have to do and ask them how to shortcut it. Shortcuts are okay. All right, give me one more aha, and we'll wrap it up. Patrick, I know you want to share your aha. Come on, you're new. Let's go. What'd you learn today, man?
I think in general, just the attitude of everyone to come in with different perspectives. Like, I think it's really easy when you're self-employed, you're a real estate agent, you don't really interact with other agents like on this face-to-face basis like this. So just because we don't have like coworkers in shared office space. So just the overall vibe, we just remember like, I'm not in this on my own. I really like that.
Yeah, nobody's in this alone, and nobody wins alone, right? Nobody has ever succeeded completely by themselves. It always takes a team atmosphere, a team approach, whether it's friends, vendors, affiliates, employees, staff, like your family, your coach, your mentor, your mom, your dad, your kids. Like, it's all a team effort. So that's a really good one to end on. All right, guys, I'm around. My cell phone was in the chat if you need it. If you don't know how to get a hold of me, ping Justin or find me on Facebook. Happy to help you guys any way I can. See you same time, same place next week. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
John.
Thank you.